Speaking on NBC's Talk of the Nation, Jauch argued that such logic could grant powerful states the perceived right to subjugate weaker nations either through direct military intervention or under false pretenses. He argued that this trend has serious implications for smaller states, which now face growing insecurity and uncertainty. Jauch warned that aggressive foreign policies by major power risks pushing smaller nations to seek new alliances and security partnerships, a development that could ultimately backfire on the very powers driving such confrontations.
The more aggression US displays towards the rest of the world, the quicker the rest of the world will seek alternative alliances. And this is the kind of dialectics at play there. The more brutal the US become, the more interventionist they become, the world, the more people will turn away from them. And I think they are very worried of losing that hold. And one can describe it as a declining empire and the last kicks of a dying horse. But it's a brutal stage that we are seeing, and Venezuela has just shown it.
He further stated that the United States underestimates Venezuela's political history and public consciousness, warning that Venezuelans are far from passive actors in the current standoff.
They placed emphasis on free healthcare, free education, community-based housing, community councils, community banks being established as forms of grassroots democracy. And that has been an inspiration to many other countries in the world. Now, if the US makes those statements now, and Venezuelans hear that, even those of the opposition parties, they will be extremely careful cooperating blindly with the US now, because then their own people will say, but you are complete puppets of an imperial power, and that doesn't make you popular at home.
Professor Richard Irayana argues that international law is meant to prevent unilateral actions by powerful states, regardless of whether they remain dominant or are in decline. He further stressed that one of the fundamental weaknesses of international organizations, including the United Nations, is the lack of independent enforcement mechanisms. He said these institutions depend heavily on member state contributions, with the United States being the largest financial contributor.
The fact that many countries are now very scared of going against the United Nations. So if you're not if you're not in favor of the United Nations, now, in favor of the United States, now, you are likely to face economic sanctions. And so we are witnessing a ideological kind of battle going on here, and the US is trying also to make sure that it claims its space of influence.